feels like a lifetime of waiting. The most anticipated event of the year is finally here. I know every single one of you were just itching and scratching and absolutely miserable going through withdrawals during this time. You have been absolutely fiending, camped outside my house, knocking on my door every day, asking if I finally re-up from the cartel, dude. A lot of you need to seek interventions and psychiatric evaluations because you have completely lost your minds. Without further ado, I should probably get into it before you try to break into my house with a battering ram. The Coco Puffs conspiracy by none other than the GOAT himself, Alexander Graham Bale, dude. I'm telling you, this better be absolutely mind-blowing, dude. This better be mind-blowing. I was at the Walmart and somebody tapped me on the shoulder when I was looking at raspberries, asked me when the video's coming, dude. You gotta relax. By the way, Coco Puffs is top 5. Coco Puffs is top 5. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Honey Nut Cheerios, Fruity Pebbles, Coco Puffs, and Cookie Crisp. Don't fuck with me.
There's no escaping chocolatey Coco Puff.
I've always thought there was something strange about Coco Puff commercials. Most kids' cereal commercials are pretty straightforward. There's a fun, wacky mascot character who wants a certain type of cereal and has to overcome some kind of obstacle.
Why do cereal mascots go so hard? Like, I get the point is to appeal to children, but every mascot is a banger, dude. Toucan Sam, Tony the Tiger, the silly rabbit guy from the Tricks, the Honey Nut Cheerios B, dude. All bangers. You got the Flintstones on there, dude. You got the Flintstones. You got, what's his name? He's now Caitlyn Jenner, dude. That guy. He was a mascot on a cereal box at one point, dude. Bangers. Absolute bangers.
Obstacle to
Across
get
the
it.
board.
Hand over those delicious
The Lucky Charms Leprechaun. Stop, dude.
Lucky Charms. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
It's pretty basic stuff. But the thing that's strange about Coco Puff commercials is that Sonny the Cuckoo Bird isn't trying to get the cereal, he's actively trying to avoid it.
How do I escape the great taste of Coco Puffs? You've got to keep Coco Puffs away from me!
If you think about it, Sonny is kind of a struggling addict who's desperately trying not to relapse, but fails every time and ends up destroying whatever building he's in and terrifying the people around him.
Can't control myself? I'm going to...
Nice, so he's just like you guys. He's an absolute fiend, dude.
Go for Coco Puffs! Go for Coco Puffs!
Coco Puffs are literally ruining his life, and I think it's kind of weird that that's how General Mills chose to advertise their cereal for children. But whatever. These are just silly 30-second kids commercials that are all essentially the same. There's no plot or world building. There couldn't possibly be anything here worth theorizing.
I don't know, dude. We watched that fucking video. What was it? Grubhub? Shout out Matthew, right? Matthew Patthew. That's a blast from the past. You guys remember that video? You guys remember the Grubhub? Right, with Matthew Patthew, and it was like a whole thing, and it was a whole thing, dude. And now it's coming back to me. And now I've got Alexander here trying to tell me that Cuckoo for Coco Puffs is a whole multiversal with lore and a plot, dude. I swear to God.
About, right? What if I told you that beneath the surface of these colorful cereal advertisements is one of the most dark and complex underlying narratives I have ever seen in a piece of media? A hidden story of addiction, war, betrayal, and a massive conspiracy about the world Sonny lives in that no one has discussed.
Are are you telling me Ronald Reagan has infiltrated our Cocoa Puffs commercials? That's what you're telling me, dude. A war on Cocoa Puffs.
Discovered before today. I promise you that after this, you will never be able to watch a Cocoa Puff commercial the same way again. This is the Cocoa Puffs conspiracy.
Okay, dude. We've gone down, like, the paths of getting our favorite childhood joy just shattered right in front of our faces, and we now just have to live the rest of our lives as miserable adults without feeling any type of glimmer of joy or happiness in our lives, dude. And now you're telling me I can't even take a bite of sweet, delicious Cocoa Puffs without it taking me into a dark, empty abyss that I cannot pull myself out of.
Accident. I should call my lawyer.
I'm John Morgan.
To hit on my lawyer. My lawyer's a fucking beast.
Morgan and Morgan.
Hi, John Morgan of Morgan and Morgan. It's Alex Bale of YouTube. Can I have money, please?
Morgan and 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 Morgan.
Did you know your injury could be worth millions of dollars? Morgan and Morgan is the biggest injury law firm in America, and they've recovered over $20 billion for their clients. $20 billion? That's a lot of money. The insurance companies tried to lowball me, but Morgan and Morgan was able to take my pain and suffering and turn it into all this money. It's almost a good thing that I was injured.
Frank Azar clears, by the way. If you know, you know.
Oh, wait. How much is Morgan and Morgan gonna cost me?
You never owe us legal fees unless we're successful.
They're completely free unless I win? Wait a second, I don't know how to hire a lawyer. That sounds too hard. I'm just a little baby, I don't know how to do that. It's actually super easy, idiot. You can just go to their website and then in a couple
He's been bleeding out of his head profusely for the past 2.5 minutes. He could just fall over at any moment, dude. You're turning white, Alex. You need to get to a hospital. Fuck a lawyer, dude. You need to get to the ER right now.
You can find out if you have a case. You can literally do it from your smartphone, dummy. And remember, there's only one Morgan and Morgan. Wait, it's Morgan. There's two of them, though. Wait, what? You can start your claim today by going to forthepeople.com/Alex. The link is also in the description, or you could scan the QR code with your phone camera. Unless you're watching this on your phone.
Is this a real ad, or am I just being Alex bailed?
In that case, you'll have to use the link in the description. So if you're injured, you can trust Morgan and Morgan. And Alex.
What state is that, dude?
Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan.
Also, this video is not sponsored by Cocoa Puffs or General Mills, and I am not trying to make any claims about the real-life Cocoa Puffs brand. I am just theorizing about fictional lore in commercials for fun and entertainment purposes. Please don't sue me, General Mills.
After the lawyer
Bye.
ad. How do you get a lawyer ad on an Alex Bale video? That is insane. We're getting a Cocoa Puffs conspiracy theory, and I gotta call Morgan and Morgan because I was injured in a car wreck. I wasn't even injured in a car wreck, but I'm gonna call Morgan and Morgan just to see how their day's going, dude. Hit up Morgan, be like, hey, Morgan, how's Morgan doing? You talked to Morgan recently, Morgan? How's Morgan doing, man? Nah, Morgan, that's not what Morgan told me. The Bird World.
The very first commercials for Cocoa Puffs aired in 1958 and originally featured 3 children instead of the iconic cuckoo bird as their mascot.
All aboard for the Cocoa Puffs train. Ding, ding!
It wasn't until 1962 that Sonny made his first appearance as the bird who goes cuckoo whenever he sees Cocoa Puffs.
Watch out, because I'm Cocoa Puff, Cocoa Puff, Cocoa Puff.
This format was very successful, and Sonny has been the mascot for the brand ever since. Since then, he's gone through many redesigns, but the basic premise has always stayed the same. Sometimes he's joined by children, sometimes he's with his grandpa, but he always ends up going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs despite his best efforts to avoid them.
Up here, I won't go cuckoo for my favorite cereal. I'm cuckoo for
How do you think he snorts them? You think he crushes them on a table and just rails them with a dollar bill? How do you think he does them? Cause there's no way he just be eating them with a spoon like a normal person, dude. That is a real certified crackhead. Okay? You think he can lighten it up in a bubble?
It wasn't until 2004 that Sonny got his most iconic redesign that he's still known for today.
That's what he uses
And it's
a spoon
these
for.
commercials that I'm going to be focusing on for this theory. The more modern Cocoa Puff commercials introduce us to the world that Sonny lives in, a society inhabited by intelligent talking birds.
No chocolatey and vanilla Cocoa Puffs combos, part of this good breakfast.
And it's surprisingly complex for just being the backdrop of kids' cereal commercials. They have their own bird cities, bird airports, bird legal systems, they even have a bird military.
Extra chocolatey puffs.
Who want the rat more chocolatey?
Why
Which
do
would
the
imply that they also have a bird government.
Cocoa Puff commercial birds need a military? Like, who are they fighting? Are there bird wars? And the entire bird world seems to run on Cocoa Puffs. All the grocery stores sell are Cocoa Puffs. If you go to the opera, there's...
Isn't this the plot of Dune? Isn't this the plot of Dune? I'm gonna be so honest with you for a second. I watched Dune in the theater, right? I watched Dune 1, not the second one. I watched the first Dune movie in the theaters. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was a beautiful movie. No idea what happened. Not a clue. What, was there a plot at all during Dune? All I know is there's a lot of sand, a lot of violins, right? Zendaya was in there for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, and they do like this crack that makes their eyes blue. And that's the most I can tell you about Dune. It's got Timothy in it, and he's a Knicks fan. That's about as far as I can get. All right? But don't they have like the weird drug thing and it like makes their eyes blue?
singing about Cocoa Puffs.
The story of this box right here. Cocoa Puffs.
Even the media seems to be run by Cocoa Puffs.
Extra, new chocolatey vanilla Cocoa Puffs combo cereal.
So obviously, this is a very difficult place for someone trying to beat a Cocoa Puff addiction. No matter what Sonny does or where he goes, he cannot avoid Cocoa Puffs. He tries to ask people for help, but all they want to do is talk about how great Cocoa Puffs are.
How do I escape the great taste of Cocoa Puffs? Why would you want to escape it? Cocoa Puffs are munchy.
Crunchy. Stop it.
The only person
That's oh my god, that's an OG drug addict, dude. Nah, dude, that's one of them old school 1960s hippies that's been smoking weed since before you were born, dude. Oh, nah, bro. He has seen so many things twice. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He's done strains of Cocoa Puffs you didn't even know existed, dude. You can't even get them anymore. They discontinued them, dude, but he did them. He did them, and he can tell you about them.
Escape it. Cocoa Puffs are munchy.
Crunchy. Stop it.
The only person willing to help him is Gramps, his trusted grandpa, who's been with him since 1962.
Keep Shelly from going cuckoo. I'm gonna hide Cocoa Puffs in this room.
Gramps?
I'm not hiding Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs?
Don't go cuckoo on me, boy.
But even with his help, it's not enough. He tries to go to the store, or the opera, or in a plane, or a deserted island, but wherever he goes, Cocoa Puffs is already there.
Could you imagine in real life? Could you imagine in real life, there's just like crack everywhere? Right? Ronald Reagan won, dude. He got crack on the Walmart We already got guns on the Walmart shelves, dude. Why not put a fucking couple 8-balls on there too, dude? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Walmart can expand their varieties, dude. Expand their products. Improve their clientele, dude. I'm telling you. That's the fucking move. That is the move, dude. Do you want so many people to stop ODing on crack? Just sell it to Walmart.
Cocoa Puffs!
Sonny even tries to file a restraining order against Cocoa Puffs, but it doesn't work because apparently they're too delicious.
I find you guilty of being delicious.
Sonny is a very tragic character because of just how much Cocoa Puffs are an inescapable, fundamental part of this world. But it isn't always like this. Occasionally, there are these weird outlier commercials that show a different side to this world, where we see these little moments where the bird citizens are just as afraid of Cocoa Puffs as Sunny is. The first time I noticed this was in a commercial for the new Cocoa Puffs chocolate and vanilla combo cereal.
Extra, extra, new chocolate and vanilla Cocoa Puffs combo cereal.
It opens with a newspaper boy announcing the new cereal, but for the first time,
They released a light-skinned cereal, dude? That's fucking crazy.
Opens with a newspaper boy announcing the
I've
new
never
cereal,
seen that.
but for the first time, people seem kind of disinterested in Cocoa Puffs and just walk
Dude,
past.
they put the, oh my god, they put the white puffs in there and all of a sudden everybody started losing their fucking minds. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Dude, they laced
And then
them.
the commercial takes a very sudden turn.
When chocolatey and vanilla combine, there's no escape.
Two massive Cocoa Puffs in the sky crash into each other and begin raining down Cocoa Puffs all over the city. The people start screaming and running for their lives as the entire city is consumed by chocolate and vanilla.
Don't go cuckoo! Don't go cuckoo!
But after Sunny goes cuckoo, we cut back and see that everyone is now enjoying the cereal.
New chocolate and vanilla Cocoa Puffs combos, part of this good breakfast.
A brand new version just dropped, dude. It's extra strength.
Now, in bowls everywhere.
Something has changed. This is not a world where everyone has always loved Cocoa Puffs. I think that this is a world that has been taken over by Cocoa Puffs. And if you don't believe me, we get much more explicit confirmation of this in the commercial.
Ain't that what happened in, Arcane? I remember that, dude. Ain't that what happened in Arcane? Right? They had the, there was that shit. Right? There was that shit that they had, like, down there, and it, like, made everybody fucking, like, chill. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, dude. Unless I'm tripping.
For the new chocolatey explosion puffs. I've kind of been holding off on showing this one because, it is honestly the most insane commercial I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, you are not prepared for what I am about to show you. This commercial takes place inside of the Bird military headquarters, where Sunny, as a Cocoa Puffs expert, discusses the dangers of this new type of Cocoa Puffs that's exploding in people's homes.
I'm warning you, it's more chocolatey.
What do you mean more chocolatey?
Yeah.
Picture chocolate.
I imagine this is how they decided to ban TikTok. A bunch of military dudes in the room, and there's like a kooky guy up there, and he's like showing a video of Addison Rae hitting the Renegade, and he's like, "This is a threat to national security," and the government's like, you might be right. You might be right.
Cocoa Puffs. Okay.
Even more chocolatey than that. Ah!
And the military birds look terrified of this and are treating it like a major threat.
Ah!
An extra chocolatey puffs.
Who authorized more chocolatey?
Just how chocolatey is it?
And what happens next is... I can't even describe it to you. You just have to kind of see it for yourself.
Even more chocolatey than that.
Ah! Just how chocolatey is it?
Cocoa Puffs. Extra chocolate. Go for the Cocoa Puffs. Go for Cocoa Puffs.
Sunny reveals he secretly brought a box of the explosive Cocoa Puffs into the meeting with him.
Sunny!
Essentially a bomb that he launches at the military, basically committing...
He just exploded a bomb in the middle of fucking Pentagon, dude.
Cocoa Puffs domestic...
They make national holidays out of this shit. Could you imagine National Cocoa Puff Day?
terrorism and flooding
Replaces 9/11 easily.
the entire room with chocolate.
I would much rather celebrate a bowl of cereal than a couple of towers we just rebuilt anyways, dude. Who fucking cares?
And afterwards, we see the main military guy again, except now he seems to be supporting the cereal,
Limited time only.
and even his military stars have been replaced with Cocoa Puffs. Sunny has essentially performed a coup and used Cocoa Puffs to take over the Bird military. These commercials are not about trying to sell cereal to kids. They're about the hostile takeover of the bird world from within. But why is Sunny doing this? I thought he was just...
dude. you just spun this in a whole different direction, dude. I was like, okay, Cocoa Puffs is just crack, and everybody's addicted to it, and it becomes the new fucking currency of the bird world, and everybody just wants to trade as much Cocoa Puffs. And it just somehow turned into this is a coup to take over the bird government, dude. First of all, you want to be me so bad overthrowing governments to seize power, dude. Second of all, what the hell, dude? How do you look at a Cocoa Puffs commercial and go, coup? How do you do that? How do you... Dude.
Some guy trying to escape his addiction.
You've got to keep Cocoa Puffs away from me!
Why is he suddenly a sleeper agent working for Cocoa Puffs in this commercial? And who is
I have a theory. I have an Alex Bale theory. My theory is that Alex Bale is one of the biggest potheads the world has ever seen, dude. I don't even think Wiz Khalifa could go toe-to-toe with Alex here. And I imagine he sits on his couch at like 2 o'clock in the morning and he is just cooked out of his mind, like beyond human comprehension. And he just happens to stumble upon a Cocoa Puffs commercial late at night while his brain is fried more than Cane's chicken strips, dude. And he looks at those and he goes, oh my fucking God. And the rest is history, dude. The rest is history.
really behind this takeover? So, at this point, you might be thinking that these are all just a bunch of random, incoherent, one-off commercials with no continuity or logic behind the things happening. You know, they're just a bunch of wacky, random skits made to sell cereal to kids, and we shouldn't really try to understand them. And you'd probably be right until they released a single commercial that fundamentally changed everything we thought we knew about this world.
God, dude. Okay, what? The Cocoa Puffs are crack. Sonny is staging a coup. What? Are you telling me there's an otherworldly threat that's gonna, like, blow up the Earth, dude? Is there some intergalactic Cocoa Puff that's just, it's gonna end all of birdmanity? Like, what are we talking about?
In fact, this commercial gives us so much new evidence that it is the entire reason I decided to make this theory.
That's the commercial he saw on the couch, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Let's take a look.
Cocoa Puffs experiment. How long does it take Sunny to go cuckoo for?
Cocoa Puffs?
Immediately, this commercial looks and feels very different than the others. Instead of a bird city, we're inside of a very advanced looking laboratory where Sunny is apparently being experimented on with Cocoa Puffs.
Begin countdown now.
So chocolatey! I'm Cocoa Puffs!
As expected, Sunny goes cuckoo and destroys the lab, but in the final moments of the commercial, we pull back to see who's really running the show. Humans. Humans are the ones behind this experiment.
Dude, I thought he was gonna show Gramps.
This world that we thought was only inhabited by intelligent bird people also has humans in it. And now, with this context, we can finally start to put all the pieces together.
Oh my gosh. Dude, you know, I always get... I should expect when things take big, wild turns out of nowhere, where you just don't even know how the hell we got here, but this is the norm. This is the norm. And, like, somehow I still get shocked every single time, dude. Like, you watched a Cocoa Puffs commercial and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a coup and there's humans and there's a war. Oh yeah,
so
by the way,
Sunny
is also an interdimensional godlike being with multiversal inside of his own mind.
My theory. This is a world where advanced intelligent humans and bird people separately coexist as global superpowers. And I believe humans are the ones who created the Coco Puffs. I think we can assume this because we can see
They created a weapon of mass destruction is what they did, dude. They literally pulled a Ronald Reagan. What did I say, dude? They literally pulled a Ronald Reagan, dude. They took crack and put it in the streets, dude. They took Coco Puffs and brought it to the hood, dude. And now all the birds are cuckoo for Coco Puffs, dude. It's not a coincidence. It's just as designed, dude. It's just as designed.
Humans are running a lab that is clearly making and testing Coco Puffs. We can even see the chemical structure for Coco Puffs on the monitor. So that means that humans are responsible for giving Coco Puffs to bird society. And clearly their intentions are far beyond just diplomatic trade. Remember what they were testing for.
How long does it take Sunny to go cuckoo for
Coco Puffs?
How long does it take Sunny to go cuckoo for Coco Puffs? They are specifically testing how addictive the cereal is, meaning humans are intentionally trying to create the most addictive product.
So then, are you telling me those two meteors at the beginning was just Hiroshima again, dude? They were just like, fuck it, drop bombs away? And just cause the nuclear disaster in Birdville that we will see effects from for generations? I'm just trying to eat some cereal, dude.
Product they can. In the world of these commercials, Coco Puffs are not just a delicious breakfast item. They are a weapon created by humans to brainwash and control an enemy nation's population. The fictional in-universe cereal is what I mean, not the real-life Coco Puffs. Please don't sue me, General Mills. We are witnessing an interspecies war between humans and birds, where humans are launching giant Coco Puffs at the cities and planting sleeper agents inside of the military. Why is this inside of a cereal commercial? So, these commercials are telling the story.
Now it all makes sense. Alex Bale got the Morgan & Morgan fucking ad, so that way he had some backups so we don't get sued by General Mills. So we can make this video. Very smart, Alex. Very smart. They were injury lawyers, but they're still lawyers, so they still count. They got spirit.
Why is this inside of a cereal commercial? So, these commercials are telling the story of this global Coco Puffs war. But I think they're telling it out of order, and this lab commercial is at the start of the timeline, showing us the creation of Coco Puffs. The humans used Sunny as a guinea pig to create an extremely addictive cereal, and they even made him the master.
Oh my gosh! And that's why he tries so hard to keep it away from everybody else, because he knows the bad.
Got on the box to help sell it to
it's clicking. It's clicking in my head, dude. I'm about to go cuckoo for Coco Puffs here.
Other birds. But why would Sunny go along with this? Well, he doesn't exactly have a choice. Like everyone else, he's just a victim being controlled by the addictive, brainwashing properties of Coco Puffs. All they have to do to activate his programming is just say his 3 trigger words. Munchy, crunchy, chocolatey.
Oh, they brainwashed him like the Winter Soldier, dude. Oh, you say the code words and he just switches on. Oh, hell no, dude. Look what they did to my boy.
Coco Puffs. All they have to do to activate his programming is just say his...
Whose parents did he kill? Did he kill Toucan Sam's parents? I don't think I've ever seen Toucan Sam with parents, dude. Now this brings up a whole lot more questions, dude. Is Sunny himself now a weapon? Could you just say the 3 code words, make him go cuckoo, and just unleash his wrath?
3 trigger words. Munchy, crunchy, chocolatey, and he goes cuckoo for Coco Puffs.
Why
I
don't we
was
discuss
right, dude.
your real home?
Желание.
Munchy,
12.
crunchy, Разве?
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Солдат. Я готов отвечать.
He is the human's perfect sleeper agent, and believe it or not, this has all actually been foreshadowed since the very first Cocoa Puff commercials. Remember how I said the original 1958 commercials only featured children instead of a bird? Well, that wasn't entirely true.
All aboard for the Cocoa Puffs train.
Yonder! I see him!
In the kid's home, we can see a cage holding a bird. From the very start, Sunny has always been a prisoner to humans. And even the 70s commercials show us that it was humans who first got Sunny addicted.
Puff, puff, Cocoa Puff, chocolate tasting Cocoa Puff, munchy, crunchy, chocolatey. Cocoa Puff,
And if you're
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? There could be a whole article coming out about this, about how the U.S. government has been performing experiments on a population of another species to develop a bionuclear weapon to wipe out said species that they are at war with. Okay? And people will still look at that and go, you know what? I'm still going to vote for that guy.
Still not convinced that this is an intentional hidden narrative inside of these commercials, then let me ask you this. Why did they choose to make the mascot of their cereal a cuckoo bird? Sure, it's partially because cuckoo sounds like cuckoo, but I think there's a deeper reason. What are cuckoo birds?
Is he an actual cuckoo bird?
Did they choose to...
I mean, that makes sense, dude, because he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. That don't look like no cuckoo bird to me, though. I don't know what kind of bird that look like to me, but that don't look like no cuckoo bird. It doesn't look like a bird that's supposed to fly, I can tell you that. It looks like a fucked up chicken, is what it looks like. It looks like a crackhead chicken. A chicken that had too many Cocoa Puffs. That's what he looks like.
Make the mascot of their cereal a cuckoo bird. Sure, it's partially because cuckoo sounds like cuckoo, but I think there's a deeper reason. What are cuckoo birds? They're brood parasites. Instead of raising their young, they secretly lay their eggs into the nest of other bird species, and once the baby cuckoo hatches, they proceed to kill the other birds and take over the nest from within.
The cuckoo chick instinctively pushes
That's
out any other eggs
insane.
in the nest.
Nah, bro pulls up to the ops hood and blows them all away, sets up shop, and makes himself at home. That's a crazy... I don't think King Vaughn did something that evil, dude. Oh my god, dude. Could you imagine breaking into somebody's house, killing all of them, and then moving in, hanging up your family pictures on their wall? Oh, dude. What the hell? What the hell, dude?
They are literally the...
I need to watch that documentary with the British guy showing that, dude. I'm sure that's cinema.
Instinctively pushes out any other eggs in the nest.
They are literally the sleeper agents of birds. This is exactly what's happening in these commercials.
That's
Humans
crazy.
secretly inserted Sunny into bird society, and he took it over from within, just like...
How did you know that? There's no way you just knew cuckoo birds were parasites, dude. There's no way. There's no way. I refuse to believe you just off the... Oh, hey, fun fact, by the way. Cuckoo birds are parasites, and they break into other nests and kill the youngins and make it in their own house, dude. By the way. Fun fact, I'm fun at parties. What are you talking about?
Sunny into bird society, and he took it over from within, just like a cuckoo bird. And the humans didn't just randomly insert Sunny into any old nest. Take a look at the commercial where we see Sunny's grandpa's house.
He keeps telling me going cuckoo. I'm gonna hide Cocoa Puffs in this room.
They're in a hallway full of what I assume are family photos. And if you look closely, you can see a picture of the main...
It's the fucking general! hell is he doing there?
Military bird. The humans inserted Sonny into a family with a high-ranking military.
Oh, hell no. Dude. Hell no. Could you imagine your own nephew turning into a sleeper agent for the ops? That's crazy. That's crazy, dude.
Officer, which allowed Sonny to use that connection to get into the military headquarters and perform the coup. And it worked. Everyone hit by Cocoa Puffs instantly loves them. They own the military, their entire economy and legal system runs on Cocoa Puffs. Humans have essentially colonized and taken over all of Bird society.
Oh, dude, the humans went in and gentrified all of it without even having to go in there. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Society. They won. So, now that the war is over, I guess the next question is, what happens to Sonny? Well, he's not a prisoner.
They just kill him. That's what happens. Duh. You get rid of him. And all of the evidence.
Anymore.
That's
He's free to live a normal life in a world controlled by humans and eat all the Cocoa Puffs he wants. Except now, unlike all the birds around him, he desperately doesn't want Cocoa Puffs.
You gotta keep Cocoa Puffs.
He's seen the destruction it has done to his community, okay? And he wants to do better.
Away from me! I don't want to skip the great taste of Cocoa Puffs.
Why is this kind of depressing?
Why? Because more than anyone else, Sonny knows the truth about this world. He knows all the horrible things humans have done to bird society, the horrible things he has done to betray his country. So, of course, he would try and reject Cocoa Puffs. But the world he lives in literally runs on the cereal. No matter where he goes, he can't escape his addiction. Remember, he even tried to file a restraining order against Cocoa Puffs in a bird court of law, but the judge refused to... Wait a second. Why...
Is that Gramps? Is that Grandpa? Judge Grandpa! Dude.
Is the...
Sonny's got no chance, dude. He's got no chance, dude. They've got everybody. They got every single person, dude.
Judge.
Dude, they about to do Sonny like MLK, bro. They about to take his ass out. Oh my god.
Grandpa.
Oh my gosh. Chocolate is thicker than blood.
Court now in session. I find you guilty of being delicious. Sonny, this is a fancy restaurant.
That is clearly Sonny's grandpa. Even his nameplate says Judge Gramps. Wouldn't that be like a major conflict of interest? Like, you can't just be a judge for your own family member's court case, right? And even if we ignore that, isn't Sonny's grandpa supposed to be the one character who's actually on his side?
To keep Sonny from going cuckoo, I'm gonna hide Cocoa Puffs in this room. Cocoa Puffs? Don't go cuckoo on me, boy.
Why does he rule against Sonny when he's the only one who's been trying to help him beat his addiction? Maybe we need to take a closer look at Sonny's grandpa.
Dude!
In one of the commercials, we see Gramps trying to help Sonny by hiding the Cocoa Puffs.
I'm gonna hide Cocoa Puffs in this room. Gramps? I'm not hiding Cocoa Puffs.
But immediately after, he says this.
I'm not Cocoa. Don't open that door then, cause there's munchy, crunchy, chocolatey Cocoa Puffs in there.
Look at him, he's clearly...
He activated him. He's like, yeah, there is definitely not any crack behind that door. There's no lighter, and there is no free reign for you to do whatever you please behind that door.
Trying to tempt Sonny into getting the Cocoa Puffs. He even uses Sonny's exact trigger words and has a nefarious smile. Gramps doesn't want Sonny to beat his addiction. He just wants Sonny to think that he's on his side, but in reality, Gramps is manipulating him.
Grandpa, I trusted you!
But why? Because I think Sonny's grandpa is working for the humans. Sonny is the mascot for Cocoa Puffs, and if humans are going to continue to use Cocoa Puffs to control bird society, then they can't have the mascot on the box actively trying to avoid and discredit the cereal.
You've got to keep Cocoa Puffs away from me! It turns everything chocolatey, and they make me go cuckoo.
So, they use someone close and trusted to Sonny, like his grandpa, to manipulate him into never breaking free of his addiction.
Well, they're munchy and crunchy.
Oh, I'm Cocoa Puff!
Just look at Gramps' life. He's got a big house, he eats at fancy restaurants, and he's a powerful judge who can seemingly break whatever rules he wants. Gramps is thriving in this human-controlled bird society, and I think it's because he made a deal with the humans to betray his own grandson.
Gramps, you conniving son of a bitch!
And once again, Gramps profiting off of Sonny has been foreshadowed since the very first commercials.
Oil? We're rich. How you gonna get it up, Gramps? Sonny can't resist Cocoa Puffs. Here, Sonny. Yahoo!
Gramps, Sonny's only parental figure, has always been working against him. But that brings up something else that I've always wondered about. Why is Gramps Sonny's only parental figure? Where are Sonny's parents?
Oh no, dude. Oh my gosh, bro.
Like, even if Sonny was a brood parasite inserted into this family, he'd still have parents before grandparents, right? It feels like someone's missing. This may seem like a pointless question to ask for how little backstory we're given about these characters, but there is actually a single insane hidden detail in one of these commercials that—
Dude, let me guess. It's a single frame, 4 pixels big in the background of one commercial ever, dude.
Unlocks one final damning part to this theory. Remember those family photos that had the military guy?
Oh god. Oh gosh. Where are we going? Where are they?
Behind them. If you look closely, the hallway is full of different bird people, all with boxes of Cocoa Puffs, except for one photo that shows a female bird.
Oh, that's Mom! Oh, that's... Hold on, dude. Why is she kinda... Dude,
all
that's
by
Mom.
herself. And it's the only photo with no Cocoa Puffs. It's a really weird detail to include. But what's even stranger is that when
Mom knew and they killed her. That's what happened, dude. Mom knew and they fucking killed her. She opposed. She was opposed to all of this. And, dude,
Sonny is about to open the door to release the Cocoa Puffs, the photo changes to show the woman is afraid for Sonny. Sure, maybe this was just supposed to be a cartoony way to emphasize the danger, but then why is she the only photo that changes? The birds in the photo right next to her are completely indifferent to Sonny's struggle. This feels like the animators are intentionally trying to tell us something about specifically this female bird that we've never seen before. And trust me, I've checked. She doesn't show up in the background of any of the other commercials.
Dude.
So here is
there's a similar commercial, whatever.
the final part of my theory. I think this is Sonny's mother. Maybe his real mother, or maybe his adopted mother from the whole brood parasite thing. Just like Sonny, she was
back to that brood parasite thing. My question is, what happens to the mama bird? Right? Because I can't imagine a mama bird lays her eggs and she comes back to the nest and there's just some random bozo sprawled out on her fucking couch in his drawers, dude. Some fucking degenerate just throwing back Pringles, just watching reruns of Jerry Springer using up all her damn electricity, dude. I fully doubt Mama Bird pulls back up to the crib and she's just like, well, I guess you live here now. Guess you're my son now. I don't think that happens, dude. What happens with the mama bird when she comes back? Do they fight? What happens? I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that British guy, dude. I gotta find out what happens.
Clearly aware of the dangers of Cocoa Puffs and wanted to avoid them. But unlike everyone else, why don't we see her in any of these commercials? I think it's because she tried to protect her son from the dangers of Cocoa Puffs, and the humans who needed Sunny for their plans murdered her because of it. These Cocoa Puff commercials are not just a bunch of funny little cartoons designed to sell cereal to kids. They are a complex, interconnected story about the horrors of war, addiction, family betrayal, and murder. And if after all of this, you still have the fucking balls to leave a comment saying, "Oh, Alex, I think they're just cereal commercials, you're overthinking."
Well, look who it is! Look who's made a special little cameo, dude. We haven't seen this guy in a minute. We haven't seen this fucking guy in a minute. Cynical, dude. That's a name. They're just cereal commercials. You're overthinking this. Not this time, buddy. Not this time, buddy. I know what game you're playing, Cynical. Not this time, buckaroo. Nope. You're not getting me.
Then let me ask you this. Why did they decide to make the characters in these commercials birds? Birds?
Am I ready for this? Am I ready for what's about to happen, dude? Am I ready for the big... This is the big reveal, I'm assuming. We're at the big reveal. Am I ready for this?
In these commercials, birds. Birds can't eat chocolate. Chocolate is poisonous to birds. The entire bird world is slowly being poisoned by Cocoa Puffs so that humans are the only dominant species on this planet. Or maybe they're just cereal commercials, I don't know.
No, you know?
Hello, thank you for watching. I
didn't even think of that angle. Can birds eat chocolate? I didn't even think of that angle. I just assumed you were just gonna get them all addicted to crack and turn into Atlanta, dude. I just assumed that's what they were doing.
Stupid, very in-depth, over-the-top fan theories coming out this year, so subscribe to catch those. Or check out the theories I've already made, because there's some good ones in there. I'd like to give a shout-out to Mr. Nightmind. He recently made...
Nightmind? Dude, that's a crossover!
Good ones in there. I'd like to give a shout-out...
Shout out Nightmind, dude! Our favorite mind, Nightmind!
Out to Mr. Nightmind.
Dude, the nostalgia's coming back, dude. We got an Alex Bale video. We got a Cynical Critic cameo, dude. Nightmind made an appearance somehow.
He recently made a nearly 3-hour-long deep dive into my ARG web series Don't Feed the Muse, which is also connected to Happy Meat Farms and a bunch of other channels across the internet. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking
Coral, dude! How's Coral doing?
About, or even what an ARG is, then I'd highly recommend watching his video. He makes
Coral,
my massive, complicated puzzle project much more accessible and easy to follow, and he even does his own fan theory about what it all means.
What if I told you Alex Bale has been playing 4D chess all along, and every element of this has been calculated to astonishing dedication?
Woo! Why did that voice just give me chills, dude? In the good way. In the good way, dude. I'm feeling all chilled up now, Nightmind. Whoa.
All along.
Dude, can you narrate the audio book about me? Cause you know there's gonna be one, right? There's gonna be an audio or an audio book about me. One of those biographies, right? New York Times bestseller. Dude, you're reading it. You're fucking reading it. Are you kidding me?
Every element of this has been calculated to astonishing.
Could you imagine him? Could you imagine him reading quotes from me? I want you to imagine this voice
chess all along, and every element of this has been calculated to astonishing dedicated degrees.
And he's just repeating those fake quotes that you guys love posting about me.
So I highly recommend that. It is a great video. Thank you, Mr. Nightmind. Thank you to the patrons who help support this channel. You can watch my videos early and get your name at the end by signing up. That's all I got. That's the end of the video. Bye. Go away.
This is absolutely deranged. I think my theory of Alex Bale spending his free time on the couch dabbling in the devil's herbs that's my fan theory that holds up, dude. That's what we need to make a whole conspiracy theory about Alex Bale's conspiracy theories and how he sits there toking on Granddaddy Perp for 3 hours until he watches one single Cocoa Puffs commercial and decides that since the birth of Sonny the fucking cuckoo bird, they have been experimenting on him to develop a bionuclear weapon to unleash upon the bird population to get them all addicted to Cocoa Puffs and slowly kill them from the inside, dude. I don't know how we got to this conclusion, dude, but I'm not surprised that we got to this conclusion, dude. Jesus Christ.